So I started playing violin when I was about 7 years old, and I actually started on piano for a few months before I played the violin because when I first started, or when I first tried to start the violin, I went to a music store with my mom, and the guy who was working at the counter kind of looked down at me and he said, you're pretty small, your hands are kind of small, you're short. A lot of young kids, they quit actually shortly after starting the violin because they realize very quickly how difficult it is. So we didn't know any better, and I ended up starting on piano, and I played for a good 3 or 4 months. I was not very good. I have no talent on piano. I still don't. But I kept coming back because my teacher gave me Sour Patch Kids every week, no matter how badly I played. So I could just not practice, and I would have my sugar fix every week. But after a few months, I had enough Sour Patch Kids, and I was like, "Mom, I really do want to play the violin. Can you help me get started?" So my mom found a way, as moms do, and it's kind of all history from there. Right when I first started violin, I could not put it down. I got home from school, and instead of going to watch TV or getting a snack or going to play video games, I just picked up my violin and I just played, until my dad needed to go to sleep and told me, son, it's getting a little late. Why don't you put it away? I've always had a love for music and for violin in particular. I just think it's such a beautiful sound. I think for me personally, it's really close to a human voice. Probably more of a female voice because the instrument is much higher in pitch than something like a cello or a bass. And violin has always been my personal way of expressing myself. At the end of a bad day, I can come home and I can play one of my favorite pieces of music, and it'll make me feel better, to lift me up. And the opposite can happen too. I can come home from a great day, and I can hear a piece of sad music, and it'll just kind of put me in this really reflective mood, which I don't think is a bad thing necessarily. But that's one of the great things about music, and classical music in particular, is that it taps into so many different emotions and so many different feelings that we all know and experience as human beings. And being able to express any one of those feelings on a violin is a really magical thing. So that's really one of the main reasons why I love it so much.